paradigm of absolute control. And that's why we're just out here doing simple things, pointing out that we're meant to be in nature and be natural. And this is where we find the source that God made to transcend the New World Order. And that's why they want to try to keep us out of it.
I'm angry. I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murderous scum. They're on giant death factories keeping babies alive and selling their body parts. What more do you need to know about these people? I go out and face these scum. They literally crawl out from under rocks. They have green looking skin and they run around screaming, we love Satan, we wanna eat babies. I have them on video. Hillary's in the creepy, weird, sick stuff, man. She sleeps in the same room with that creepy, weird woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. What the hell? That woman number one is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I'm told her and Obama just stink. Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur. Literal vampire pot and the goblins are hobbling round coming after us. My spirit gets close to that evil and I feel it go. We're such self-centered crap. We don't even notice hell itself rising up against us. Millions of pointed people of the very worst type, and I'm so pissed. We're gonna stab your daughter at the mall. We're gonna stab your wife, your son. We're gonna stab you with a butcher knife, and then the police chief is gonna say, we love our Somalis, we love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good, oh, they're so sweet.
I was watching Fox News as I worked out this morning.
Woo! Good evening, my friends. I hope everybody's doing well. Man, today is one of those days that I'm really glad I'm not on Twitter. I'm not going to get into much of it, but here's what I'm going to say about one thing and one thing only. Well, two things. I'm going to make 2 points here. A, I ride or die with Nurse Kim. Nurse Kim's a fucking saint. Period. I ride or die with Nurse Kim. That's it. She's my homie, and I know her character, and that's it. B, if that was Karen Reed on that drama channel last night, the one that will remain unnamed, if that was Karen Reed in the chat of that channel last night, those comments were beyond reckless. Absolutely reckless. And the reason why I say that, and I say that not meaning any disrespect to her, I'm saying it just is what it is, because there is, and I don't believe it. I don't believe it's her. Honestly, I can't imagine that she would do something that reckless. I can't personally imagine that Karen Reed would go into that chat of all chats and be so ominous and vague to cause the turmoil on social media that it has caused today. Every creator is being attacked. Every creator is being accused. Every creator that has supported Karen Reed with everything they've got is being attacked. So I can't personally imagine that Karen Reed, being the responsible, awesome, resilient person that we've been watching in a courtroom for the last 2 years, would do something that careless and reckless. So that's how I feel about that. Well, here's the thing. Doesn't matter. Regardless of who it was reckless. And it fucked a whole lot of people up today. And it's not right. A lot of good people, and it's not right. So that's all I'm going to say about that today. But on to what we're here for. Because I don't know if everyone forgot, but there's still corruption in Norfolk County. John O'Keefe's murderers are still out there, and the people who framed Karen Reed and Turtle Boy are still doing what they want to do. So, today a motion was filed to recuse Robert Cosgrove from the witness intimidation charges, which names all of the McAlberts and whoever. Now Cosgrove was already recused. He recused himself from the Lindsay Gattani aspect of the case because Lindsay Gattani is suing him. And so the thing is, though, is what I'm imagining we're going to read here, because this just dropped. I have not had a chance to read it myself yet. What's up, Broken Baker? The fact that she wrote a letter to Michael Morrissey himself threatening to sue Michael Morrissey should be enough to recuse, should be enough to just get Michael Morrissey's entire office kicked off the entire case. And I'm inclined to think that Judge Doolin is going to be inclined to agree. So what we're going to do here, we're going to read Aiden's Canton Cover-Up Part 532, which just dropped not even an hour ago. And It says here the Turtle Boy legal defense team has filed a motion today asking Special Prosecutor Robert Cosgrove to recuse himself from the 2023 indictments against me, which would leave the case stateless and could lead to the charges being dropped. Putting it much more simply than how I put it just a second ago. So, here's the motion. I'm going to go ahead and hold on. Oh, that's zooming. Okay, no, I don't want to do that. All right. So here, I'll just show it here. Yeah, we're not doing that today. We're not doing all that today. This is what we're doing today. So it says here, Mark A. Betterow, an attorney admitted to practice law, the mighty Mark A. Betterow, an attorney admitted to practice law in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, pro hoc vice, affirms under penalty of perjury as follows. I am an attorney for the record of defendant Aidan Carney, blah, 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 blah. We don't need to read all that. The background is Miss Gitani is the alleged victim in the 2024 case and an important witness in, well, hold on. Let me read all this. Disqualify Special Prosecutor Robert Cosgrove from docket, blah, 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 due to his irreconcilable conflict with Miss Gitani, and disqualify Special Prosecutor Robert Cosgrove from an ongoing investigation of Karen Reed and Mr. Carney for conspiracy to commit witness intimidation. That's interesting. Due to Mr. Cosgrove's irreconcilable conflict with Miss Gitani. Can I click on that? No, okay. I guess not. And wait a second. Hold on. This can't be happening right now.
Oh, here we go.
I think we got a super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad.
How dare you?
MC Cossy G became a member. Right on. That's good, man. Make sure, like, you just get off this case and then just be a member here. Hang out. Sarah B. Creative, thank you so much. This is for you, my friend. Most respected creator I know. Thank you. That means a lot. All right. Ms. Gitani is the alleged victim in the 2024 case and an important witness in the 2023 case and the 2025 investigation. Mr. Cosgrove and Kenneth Mello both are presently assigned as special prosecutors in the 2023 case. Mr. Cosgrove's role as special prosecutor in the 2023 and 2024 case has recently expanded to include the 2025 investigation, which is an attempted resurrection of Mr. Mello's failed March 27th, 2024 attempt. Hold on a second. I like to read these footnotes. The motion to disqualify Mr. Mello from the 2023 case is pending before the court, dated September 17th, 2025. Blah, 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 has been disqualified. Mr. Mello has already been disqualified from the 2024 case. So yeah, this is the motion to disqualify. I should not have titled this recuse, because I think that word only applies if you're doing it yourself, but I don't know. I don't know. And let's see. Mr. Cosgrove's role as special prosecutor in the 2023 and 2024 cases has recently expanded to include the 2025 investigation, which is an attempted resurrection of Mr. Mello's failed March 27th, 2024 attempt to indict Ms. Reed and Mr. Carney for conspiracy to commit witness intimidation. The subject matter of the 2023 case and the 2025 investigation is virtually identical. They involve the same alleged acts of witness intimidation against the same alleged victims. On information and belief, the only difference between the 2023 case and the 2025 investigation is that the 2025 investigation seeks to add a conspiracy indictment against Ms. Reed and Mr. Carney, and substantive witness intimidation indictments against Ms. Reed, identical to many, if not all, of the substantive I just lost my place. Of the substantive indictments against Mr. Carney in the 2023 case. On September 5th, 2025, Ms. Catani sued Mr. Cosgrove and Massachusetts State Police Detective Lieutenant Brian Tully, the lead investigator in the 2023 and 2024 cases, and the 2025 investigation. Ms. Catani sued Mr. Cosgrove for intentional infliction of emotional distress, negligent infliction of emotional distress, invasion of privacy, abuse of process, violation of civil rights law, breach of statutory, breach of statutory duty, negligence per se, and contribution. Detective Lieutenant Tully was sued for the same, with the exception of the abuse of process claim. In essence, Ms. Catani has accused Mr. Cosgrove and Lieutenant Tully of intending to cause her emotional distress and other harm by purposefully breaching a duty of care they owed her. I still can't, that shit's still very funny to me. Ms. Catani has accused Mr. Cosgrove and Brian Tully of unreasonable and offensively invading her privacy by improperly and deliberately disclosing facts about a purported sexual assault to Mr. Carney's defense without her consent, in violation of confidentiality laws. In other words, she's suing them for giving over discovery. Ms. Catani has accused Mr. Cosgrove of initiating or facilitating legal processes with ulterior motives. Ms. Catani has accused Mr. Cosgrove and D.L. Tully of interfering with her rights by threats, intimidation, and coercion. And Merritt, thank you so much. Mr. Glare, always real and love your channel. Peace and love. Thank you. It means a lot. Thank you so much. On September 5th, 2025, Ms. Catani and Norfolk County District Attorney Michael Morrissey, Ms. Catani sent District Attorney Michael Morrissey a letter titled Presentment Claim. Hold on, let me read the footnote. In the almost 2 years since Ms. Catani made this claim, no charges have been filed against Mr. Carney. The evidence, I'm talking about the sexual assault, Ms. Catani's claim clearly was discoverable under Brady and Rule 14. On September 5th, 2025, Ms. Catani and Ms. Catani sent Norfolk County District Attorney Michael Morrissey a letter titled Presentment of Claim. Hold, please. Under MGL, blah, 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 Robert Cosgrove. In her demand letter to DA Morrissey, Ms. Catani stated her intent to sue his office because of the actions of its employee, Mr. Cosgrove, for damages arising from his tutorious conduct, which, according to Ms. Catani, included Mr. Cosgrove intentionally causing her severe distress and violating her right to privacy through his coercion. I find this motion, okay, first of all, I find this really funny because, first of all, a point to really focus on here is I don't see how this motion can't be granted. I just don't see how that's going to happen. But the truth is that I see that all the time. I mean, this happened in the Reed case all the time. So, but the reason why I say that is because the reason why she's threatening to sue Michael Morrissey, the grounds she's claiming to want to sue him on is because of the actions of the person she's already suing, which is his subordinate, the person who is, well, technically not his subordinate, but it's his hire, his special prosecutor. But the problem is that a special prosecutor, as I understand it, doesn't answer to the district attorney. So there might not even be a case there. But the fact that she's threatening to sue Michael Morrissey at all makes this totally crazy. Makes it seem like, all right, listen, dude, who wants to take on this case? Because everybody's going to get threatened to sue if they do something. Everybody's going to get sued or threatened to get sued if, as long as this person, this crazy woman, finds something that you do that she doesn't like. That's the planet that the Aiden Carney witness intimidation charges are living on. Right now, they're on Planet Gatani. Planet Gatani. Because she has just thrown a fucking monkey wrench in this whole goddamn case against Aiden Carney. I mean, she's part of the whole goddamn thing anyway. Like, she acted as an agent to frame him, to have him thrown in jail for 2 months. And then she sues the 2 guys that are there to help her. Mello's already gone, right? Cosgrove is her only friend. He's the only friend she's got that's going to actually fight for her in court. Tulio gets called to the stand, but he's not going to stick his neck out for her. He's going to stick his neck out for him. Cosgrove is going to try to protect her credibility. Now he can't do that. I mean, and we're worried about phone calls and foot lockers. This is just too good. This is amazing. I actually kind of like this motion better than the mega motion. So far, it's already more entertaining. Like, it just is. Because the other one's redacted to shit, dude. Like, you just got to guess, you know? Like, I'm not trying to fucking, like, what fuck good is a book called Use Your Imagination and the pages are blank? You know what I'm saying? Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Like, where's the story? You know, where's the substance? But, you know, this is fun. This is fun. Even though this is stuff we already knew, just the way that the Mighty One is spelling this shit out is fucking hilarious. Because it's just so simple. You see how I'm breezing through this shit? It's because I believe that Betero psychically is connected to me, dude. And he's like, the Glare is going to read this shit. And I got to make it easy for his dumb ass because he's fucking retarded. And that's exactly what's going on here. This is very, very simple and I'm joking, obviously, but it's beautiful because it's so simple. Like the substance, the reasons, the grounds are that simple. That's why this is so easy to read. That's why this is so easy to read. Because mentally challenged. No, I didn't say mentally challenged. I said retarded. Very different things. Very different things. Like, listen. If you got 2 dudes in their 20s, one's Downsy, the other one isn't, and the one that isn't Downsy calls the Downsy kid a retard, well, then that automatically shows that the kid who isn't Downsy is the retard. You get what I'm saying? I reserve that word for the willfully ignorant. Willfully ignorant. I would never use that word to describe somebody with a mental health disability of any kind or an intellectual deficiency of any kind. Because that is by choice. To be willfully ignorant is by choice. You are somebody who's just an asshole and You're not willing to listen to anybody, and you ignore fucking logic and fucking facts, and just refuse. You're capable of critical thought, but you refuse to do it. You're fucking retarded. In my book, I reserve that word for those people. So now, in her demand letter to D.A. Morrissey, Ms. Gattani stated her intent to sue his office because of the actions of its employee, Mr. Cosgrove. Did I already read that? Yeah, privacy through coercion. Wow. Ms. Gattani alleged that her damages would exceed $50,000 and requested that D.A. Morrissey investigate this claim and contact her to discuss resolution, compensate her financially within 6 months, or presumably face an explosive civil lawsuit in an election year. So what you've got here, sirs and ma'ams, is extortion. In writing, in an email, it's extortion. Ms. Gattani alleged that her damages would exceed $50,000 and requested that D.A. Morrissey investigate this claim and contact her to discuss resolution within 6 months. You got 6 months to hook me up with my 50 G's. Run my 50K or I'm suing your ass. That's not how lawsuits work. I'm not a civil attorney, not even a criminal attorney. I'm just the founder of the Glare Institute of Law and Stuff, the prestigious Glare Institute of Law and Stuff. And that shit, no, it's not blackmail. It's extortion. It's extortion. Like, I'm going to fucking sue your ass if you don't just run me 50 G's, bro. Like, that's what I feel like. I feel like you guys owe me 50K. So run that shit and I might not sue you. I don't think you can do that. I don't think that's legal. I don't think we haven't gotten that far in the Glare Institute of Law and Stuff yet, but I don't think that you can extort money out of somebody with the threat to sue them for more money. Like, okay, listen, bro, because you still have to do that through the courts. You could settle out of court, but you have to file the lawsuit. You know what I'm saying? But what she did, she just gave herself away. So she's basically like, yo, listen, Michael Morrissey, let me holler at you real quick. So I figure the shit y'all put me through, I figure you run me 50K, we're good. Okay? But if not, I'm going to sue you for like $1 million. Which translates to like, yo, okay. If I was to sue you for a cool mill, Michael Morrissey, I'd have settled for 50K. But now you know that, and now I'm fucked, and I can't do shit. Now you know that I would have settled for 50K had I gone through these processes legally. You could have been out of $1 million lawsuit, 50K, with a settling out of court. But I'm too stupid. So's my boy Grant. And we decided to go the route of extortion. Huh? What do you think? I don't understand how these people think, bro. Like, I almost feel guilty calling Gattani retarded. You know why? Because she might be, there might be something like clinically off intellectually. You know what I mean? Obviously, there is psychologically. That doesn't count as retarded. That doesn't count. But being completely and totally fucking like oblivious and just oh, Grant, listening to you's a good idea. Like, I think that there might really be something that is fucking like off with her wiring. Could just be that she drinks fucking vodka out of a water bottle everywhere she goes. That could be the issue too. But I'm just saying that shit right there is fucking gold. It just is. Mr. Cosgrove has had a lengthy and distinguished career as a Norfolk County prosecutor and Superior Court judge. He undoubtedly will vigorously dispute the Oh shit. My bad. Okay, I guess my internet came back. We'll continue 1 second here. Yeah. So this next page here, by virtue of his professional status and excellent reputation, Mr. Cosgrove's defense of himself against Ms. Gitani's claims will necessarily damage Ms. Gitani's credibility, which will harm any prosecution in which she is a witness or where her credibility is an issue. The DA almost certainly will provide full-throated support for Mr. Cosgrove's reputation and integrity, and despite Ms. Gitani's claims, which will harm any prosecution in which she is a witness or her credibility is an issue. Ms. Gitani's unconventional legal maneuvers have... I love that shit. The mighty one goes, Ms. Gitani's unconventional legal maneuvers. He even gave her a little like grace, bro. Like he made her sound kind of badass. She's unconventional. Holy shit, is she crazy? Nah, man. She's unconventional. Oh man, I love Mark so much, bro. That shit is fucking great to me. Tony's unconventional legal maneuvers, bro. That's the fucking line of the year, bro. Placed her interest in a prosecution witness in the as a prosecution witness in the 2023 case of 2025 investigation, who has sued Mr. Cosgrove, D.L. Tully, and intends to sue the DA in direct and irreconcilable conflict with A. Mr. Cosgrove, who is in his capacity as the prosecutor, would be required to defend the credibility of a prosecution witness who has sued him for his alleged misconduct and in whose personal interest it is to discredit Ms. Gitani. B, the DA, the party who engaged Mr. Cosgrove and will be soon be sued by Ms. Gitani because of Mr. Cosgrove's alleged misconduct, and in whose interest is to support Mr. Cosgrove and discredit Ms. Gitani. And C, the Commonwealth, the party ultimately responsible for prosecuting Mr. Carney, and in whose interest it is to credit Ms. Gitani. On September 22nd, 2025, Mr. Cosgrove filed a motion to withdraw from the 2024 case on the basis that he was ethically precluded from prosecuting matters where Lindsay Gitani is an alleged victim or party. Emphasis added. I love when Mark does that. He says, emphasis added. On September 24th, 2025, Mr. Cosgrove was relieved from the 2024 case due to the conflict of interest created by Ms. Gitani's accusations of numerous instances of serious and intentional misconduct. In other words, the court, Mr. Cosgrove, and the defense all agree that Ms. Gitani's serious allegations against Mr. Cosgrove have created an irreconcilable conflict that prevents him from prosecuting any matter in which Ms. Gitani is a possible witness or where her credibility is an issue, which means this bitch has her hands all over this bullshit. And so now that she's suing people left and right for fucking nothing because her methods are unconventional. Now that that's happening, how the fuck are you going to effectively prosecute a case, dude? You can't. You can't. Not with that DA's office. And who the fuck's going to take this case on? We'll talk about that in a bit. Dude, I'm only on page 7. As it stands today, Mr. Cosgrove's withdrawal for the 2024 case has left that matter without any prosecutor. So the Gitani case has already got nobody. Who is going to take that case on, dude? Nobody from the Norfolk DA's office. Otherwise, he wouldn't have had to hire Cosgrove to begin with. And as I've said many times, people, Cosgrove gives me serious bottom of the barrel vibes. You know what I mean? Like, where do you go from Cosgrove? Like, rock meet bottom. And the thing is Cosgrove's not a bad lawyer. He's been a lawyer and a judge for fucking centuries, bro. You know what I mean? Like, but you know his heart's not in this shit. You know that his instructions are basically stall, stall, stall. Stall, 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 play keep away. Keep this motherfucker off our case. Keep him off my back. Keep him from sticking his phone in people's faces. Make him scared of going to jail anytime he opens his mouth. That's what the goal is here. Liz88 gifted a membership as always. Liz88, you are too sweet. Thank you so much. You know how much we love you here. Yeah, that's my favorite. My favorite thing is that Mark Betterow got involved with all of this by reading Wendy Murphy tweets and going, what the fuck? That's the funniest shit in the world, dude. Like, if you think about that, like, that's like, look at everything that has, like, the impact that the mighty Mark Betterow has made in this community, in the Karen Reed case. I mean, what he's doing with the Turtle Boy case, all because he just couldn't fucking, he just couldn't bite his tongue when it came to the stupidity coming out of a lawyer's mouth, a so-called lawyer's mouth, Wendy Murphy. And now her son is supposed to be deposed. He was supposed to be deposed and in one of Aiden's cases, and he didn't get deposed because he wasn't feeling well. But you know Wendy Murphy's going to attend that with him. And I don't know, man. I feel like Wendy Murphy might be the unconventionalism that the mighty Mark Betterow is referring to. It's a feeling. It's a feeling. That's all. They got some Wendy Murphy unconventionalism vibes. That's all I'm saying. Before Ms. Gattani threatened to sue the DA, it already had recused itself from the matter due to its conflict with Mr. Carney. What a fucking mess, bro. Like, this is story time, bro. This is what this is. I love this shit. This is story time with the mighty one, Mark Betterow. That's what this is. Before Ms. Gattani threatened to sue the DA, it already had recused itself from the matter due to its conflict with Mr. Carney. Additionally, Mr. Mello already has been disqualified, and Robert Novak, who briefly assisted Mr. Mello on the 2024 case, briefly is way of an understatement, moved to withdraw one day after defense motions detailing Mr. Mello's pervasive misconduct in the 2023 case were filed. In the circumstances, the conflict between Ms. Gattani and the DA precludes the DA from appointing another special prosecutor to handle the 2024 case because it is in the DA's interest to defend Mr. Cosgrove and to discredit Ms. Gattani as part of its own defense against her serious allegations of prosecutorial misconduct. The appointment of a new special prosecutor on the 2024 case must be made by a disinterested party without regard to any possible impact on Ms. Gattani's existing and future civil litigation against those involved in Mr. Carney's prosecution. If the DA, a future defendant in Mr. Carney's upcoming litigation, which will allege, if the DA, a future defendant in Ms. Gattani's upcoming litigation, will allege prosecutorial misconduct, is allowed to make. Hold on. The Attorney General already has rejected the DA's numerous requests to prosecute Mr. Carney. Yeah, so that's the only other place they can go is to the Attorney General. That's just not going to happen unless they find another special prosecutor. But how? Fucking how? So if the DA, a future defendant in Ms. Katani's upcoming litigation, which will allege prosecutorial misconduct, is allowed to make the choice, Ms. Katani and others rightfully will question whether the prosecutor was engaged as DA House counsel at taxpayer expense to serve the DA's interest in discrediting Ms. Katani and defeating her lawsuit, or to independently evaluate the merits of a criminal case without regard to the DA's interest in Ms. Katani's civil litigation. All right. Okay. This is the choice. Ms. Katani and others rightfully will question whether the prosecutor was engaged as DA House counsel at taxpayer expense to serve the DA's interest in discrediting Ms. Katani and defeating her lawsuit, or to independently evaluate the merits of a criminal case without regard to the DA's interest in Ms. Katani's civil litigation. So basically, Bettero's just spelling it out here. Why and how it's absolutely fucking impossibly ethical. It can't be ethical to have the DA on this case, to have the DA's hands anywhere near this case now because of this witness. And she is a key witness. Oh, shit. Hold on. Let me say something real quick. Ray from Dallas is in the chat. Yo, I caught some of your live today. Like, I was listening, and I was enjoying it. And then I saw that it wasn't up anymore. I saw your post saying that it got taken down. You're pretty new. And I would imagine that, you know, like you weren't holding back, and you were saying some pretty racy stuff. So I would imagine somebody reported you. That's just a guess. I would imagine someone reported the stream, and it violated terms of service, and you haven't even broken 500 subs. So it's probably an easy decision just to take. It's probably some sort of algorithm policy to just take that down. So just be careful as you're building your channel. I would recommend just be careful. You know, unfortunately, you know, freedom of speech doesn't exactly apply here on YouTube so much because it is a company, and they have terms of service, and if you violate them, they have a right to do what they want. So I would just take it easy. But it was fun. But yeah, so this is just basically Mark Bettero explaining in detail exactly why this is impossible. Like, you can't, there's no way to do this. There's no way ethically, in the eyes of the law, that this is going to be okay. You know, and this kind of shit is probably totally unprecedented. This has probably never fucking happened in the history of any case where the fucking one of the witnesses just went fucking bananas and decided to fucking start suing all the people that were designed there to protect her while they're in the process of doing so. As detailed below, Mr. Cosgrove must be disqualified from the 2023 case and the 2025 investigation because Ms. Katani will be a witness. Her credibility will be an issue, and her serious allegations against Mr. Cosgrove have made her his third rail. I love Mark's little euphemisms. The black hats and the white hats. Ms. Katani is a witness in the 2023 case and the 2025 investigation. On November 28th, 2023, Mr. Mello commenced a grand jury investigation that ultimately resulted in the 2023 case. Indictments were returned against Mr. Carney on December 20th, 2023. The grand jury investigation was named in the matter of MSP Canton investigation, November 28th, 2023, on or about December 9th, 2023. While the grand jury proceeding on the 2023 case was underway, Ms. Gattani began communicating with Catherine Peter, enter Krusty Panties, whose conduct relationship with the MSP, dreadful credibility, essential to Mr. Carney's defense in the 2023 and 2024 cases. And we've got a lot of redactions. Okay, so this is a text thread between the two of them, between Kate Peter and Ms. Gattani, on information and belief on the DL referred to on the down low, which means to do something secretly or privately. It goes without saying that there was no legitimate basis for Ms. Gattani or anyone else involved in the investigation to engage in a secret or private discussions with the prosecutor, meaning there ain't no ethical reason why Gattani should be meeting and communicating with Tully and the special prosecutor involved in her Bo's, I mean, I don't want to say boyfriend, and her dude that she's been banging. In his case, it's totally unethical. There's no reason why they should be communicating, why she should be communicating with Turtle Boy's prosecutor and one of the investigators trying to nail him to a wall on the down low. On the down low. That's not appropriate, dude. That's completely fucking inappropriate. So you can't ethically prosecute this case. Like, this dude needs to go. Like, I just don't see. And really all this is, if you remember correctly, all this is the instruction from Judge Doolin to submit something in writing. This is the submission in writing. So this is the submission in writing that Doolin requested on the 24th, I believe, or the 23rd or 24th, 24th. And if you remember, Doolin was like, I'm inclined to agree with you. Yes, I'm inclined to agree with you. So I don't think I don't see how this isn't going to go through. Especially like keeping all that in mind, Betterow didn't pull any punches here at all. You know, he went right for it all. Like he spells everything completely out so far. I mean, we're only on page 10. We're 1/3 of the way through this. So yeah, I mean, most of this stuff is just going to be like, this is all redacted. Ms. Gattani told Ms. Ganduzzo that, I don't know. Ms. Gattani joked that she, I don't know. Ganduzzo that once she, I don't know. Ms. Gattani told Ms. Ganduzzo that, I don't know. On December 12th, 2023, Jennifer McCabe, a key witness in the 2023 case and the 2025 investigation, in the presence of Ms. Peter, told Ms. Gattani that if she was really sorry for previously supporting Ms. Reed, she would testify before the grand jury. Now, Aiden made a really good point when talking about this little tidbit, and I'm inclined to agree with him on that. That sounds a lot more like witness intimidation than anything that Aiden is being charged for. I mean, call me crazy. Let me read that one more time. Jen McCabe told Ms. Gattani that if she was really sorry for previously supporting Karen Reed, she would testify before the grand jury against Turtle Boy. I mean, she's pushing her to be a witness. She's saying, you get on that stand. If you're really sorry, because she's also saying which side to do it. Now, Aiden never stuck his phone in Jen McCabe's face and went, "Hey, you're going to sit on a stand in court and you're going to say this and you're going to say that." If you were any type of person, then you would testify in court that Karen Reed is innocent and that you Googled 2:27 a.m. to die. He never did that. Now, I'm not even saying that's witness intimidation. I'm saying it sounds a hell of a lot more like witness intimidation than anything that Aiden has been charged for. That's all I'm saying. On December 13th, 2023, Ms. Katani expressed concern to Ms. Peter about her of criminal exposure for witness intimidation because she created a fake Twitter account in which she, under the name Jane, relentlessly attacked Mr. Carney. At the same time, she supported him under her real Twitter account. Ms. Gattani understandably was worried when Detective Tully, blah, 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 she bizarrely engaged in online discussions with herself under two different names, where she simultaneously attacked Mr. Carney as Jane and defended him as Lindsay Gattani. That is insane shit. Unknown Number, anyone? You guys watch that documentary? Unknown Number? Bro. I'm telling you, dude, I started as soon as I'm done with the stream, I'm going right back fucking to it, bro. I started Ed Gein on Netflix. Dude, shit is twisted. Got through the first episode. Can't wait to keep going. Like, it's how I'm going to spend the rest of my night. It's totally how I'm going to spend the rest of my night. But yeah, Unknown Number, bro. Unknown Number, if you guys don't know. I mean, I don't want to spoil it. I don't really want to spoil it because I didn't know what I was getting into when I was watching it, you know? And so, like, I was like, it has to be one of these people, you know what I mean? And then I started to think, like, ooh, I don't know. I feel like it could be. And then it was like, oh my God, it was, you know? And I was like, oh shit. It was so messed up. So messed up. No. I didn't spoil nothing. I ain't saying nothing about nothing. Steve F, thank you so much, buddy. Low T Cossy G gots to go. Get his bum stank out that house, bruh. Okay. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Steve F. The F stands for fuck. Oh, Always Ames became a new member. And Common Sense for Sale gifted a membership. I missed these because I'm reading. And I missed this one too. She's touched for sure. Thank you, On Top. Appreciate it. This is wild. Ms. Gattani and Ms. McCabe both will be questioned under oath in the 2023 case regarding Ms. McCabe's possible intimidation or coercion in seeking to have Ms. Gattani testify against Mr. Carney. Ms. Gattani created the Jane Twitter account. That Ms. Gattani was Jane. She lied to the Medfield police about her identity as Jane. Jesus Christ, bro. The fuck is going on here? On December 14th, 2023 at 1 p.m., Detective Lieutenant Tully and Mr. Mello's investigator interviewed Ms. Gattani in connection with the grand jury investigations that resulted in the 2023 case and the failed attempt to indict Mr. Carney and Ms. Reed on March 27, 2024. The purpose of Detective Lieutenant Tully's interview with Ms. Gattani was to pump her for information regarding eat you, Mark. Eat you. The purpose of Detective Lieutenant Tully's interview with Miss Gattani was to pump her for information regarding Mr. Carney's relationship with Miss Reed, and to acquire evidence to build a case against Ms. Reed and Mr. Carney for conspiracy to intimidate the witness against Ms. Reed. Ms. Gattani told Detective Lieutenant Tully her purported knowledge of communications between Mr. Carney and Ms. Reed, including their method of communication, the app which they used to communicate, and their initial use of an intermediary named Natalie. Enter Miss Natalie. Ms. Gattani alleged that Mr. Carney ran everything by Ms. Reed before he reported on Ms. Reed's case. Ms. Gattani strongly implied that Ms. Reed or her family purchased a Lexus for Mr. Carney. On December 14th, 2023, at 3:10 p.m., immediately after her interview with Detective Lieutenant Tully concluded, Ms. Gattani texted Ms. Peter that blank on information and belief because she was concerned what will be discovered on her and then disclosed to the defense. On December 14th, 2023, at 3:51 p.m., Ms. Gattani told Ms. Peter that the redactions make this impossible to get any real context from. So I apologize. The December 14th, 2023, and 4:24 p.m., Ms. Gattani called Ms. Peter. They spoke on the phone for blah, blah, blah. The extraction report Ms. Gattani's phone provided to the defense reveals that after. Okay, so, I mean, they obviously have some serious shit here, right? That's the takeaway from all these redactions. One side of the coin is these redactions. Yeah, this is Mad Libs, but it's impossible because this is like real Mad Libs. This is like there's Mad Libs, but this is fucking insane psychotic libs. That's what this is, because these are conversations between two fucking insane people. So how the fuck are you supposed to think like them? How the fuck are you supposed to fill in the blanks when you're listening to a conversation between two crazy, fucked up, insane people? Two of the most craziest, fucked up, insane people in this whole goddamn movement. Riddle me that shit. So this isn't Mad Libs, bro. This is fucking Thorazine after a lobotomy libs. What am I supposed to do with that? For more than a year, Ms. Gattani has relentlessly accused Detective Lieutenant Tully of improperly disclosing the contents of her phone. This dispute will serve as a subject of an examination for both Ms. Gattani and Detective Lieutenant Tully in the 2023 case, which places Mr. Cosgrove in an impossible position. How to examine his accuser and co-defendant under oath, where they will contradict each other and then address their credibility in summation. Right. There's no way. There's no way. Like, you stick them both on the stand and like you stick these two both on the stand one after the other or whenever, but they're going to fucking speak against each other. Tully might keep it together. Tully might see the big picture and be like, all right, I'm going to say what I got to say to fucking fix this shit and try to fucking predict what that fucking wild card of an insane woman is going to say on the stand. You know what I'm saying? Like, he might, but that wild card of an insane woman is still going to fucking take the stand and talk. And she hates fucking Tully. She's suing Tully. She's suing the prosecutor. Come on, man. She's suing the guy that's there to protect her on the stand. On December 15th, 2023, at 4:22 p.m., Ms. Gitani posted on Facebook, "Big news coming soon. Stay tuned." On December 15th, 2023, at 7:54 p.m., in response to Mr. Carney informing her that he knew she attacked him as Jane, Ms. Gitani taunted Mr. Carney by texting him GJ, whatever the fuck that, GJ with a smiley face, whatever the fuck that means. On information and belief, by the late afternoon of December 15th, 2023, Ms. Gitani, after speaking to Mr. Mello, Detective Lieutenant Tully, Ms. McCabe, Ms. Peter, and Ms. Genduzzo, knew that Mr. Mello planned to serve her with a grand jury summons to appear as a witness in connection with the 2023 case. Oh my God, I love it. Robin G, oh my God, thank you so much. Gifted 5 memberships. I mean, dude, this is fucking the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life, bro. On December 15th, 2023, in response to Mr. Carney informing her that he knew she attacked Ms. Jane, Ms. Gitani taunted Mr. Carney by texting him GJ. On information and belief, by the late afternoon of December 15th, 2023, Ms. Gitani, after speaking to Mr. Mello, blah, 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 planned to, I already read all that, knew that Mr. Mello planned to serve her with a grand jury summons to appear as a witness in connection with the 2023 case. On information and belief, Ms. Gitani's public announcement in which she teased the big news related to her glee at being anointed a witness against Mr. Carney in connection with the 2023 case. On December 20th, 2023, Mr. Mello informed the grand jury that today is not the end of our proceeding, and that on December 27th, 2023, he anticipated presenting additional evidence. December 20th, 2023, December 22nd, 2023, Detective Lieutenant Tully served Ms. Gitani with a grand jury summons compelling her to testify on December 27th, 2023. That date sound familiar? Ms. Gitani's grand jury summons, which compelled her testimony on the same day Mr. Mello informed the grand jury it would hear additional evidence, was issued in connection with the investigation into Canton witness intimidation. The same grand jury commenced by Mr. Mello on November 28th, 2023. The grand jury summons Detective Lieutenant Tully served upon Ms. Gitani instructed her to report to the Special Assistant District Attorney, which of course was Mr. Mello. The only legitimate basis for Mr. Mello to inform the grand jury on December 20th, 2023, that it would hear evidence on December 27th, 2023, direct D.L. Tully on December 22nd, 2023, to subpoena Ms. Gitani to testify on December 27th, 2023, regarding the Canton witness intimidation case was because Mr. Mello and Detective Lieutenant Tully deemed Ms. Gitani a material witness in the 2023 case. Jesus fuck, Mark.
No. Mm-mm. No. Hell no. No. I refuse. No.
I have to read that again. Slower. Because I don't know what the fuck any of that was.
What the fuck?
Killing me, Mark. You're fucking killing me. Okay. Let me try that one more time. The only legitimate basis for Mr. Mello, got it? I wish I had a Charlie Day fucking yarn board. The only legitimate basis for Mr. Mello to inform the grand jury on December 20th, 2023, that it would hear evidence on December 27th, 2023. So far, Mello, the only legitimate basis for Ken Mello to tell the grand jury that there's going to be evidence on December 27th, when he's at the grand jury hearing on the 20th. Everybody following so far? He's at the grand jury hearing on the 20th, and he tells the grand jury, you're going to hear evidence on the 27th. Why not present it then? He says you're going to hear it on the 27th. But he's saying the only legitimate basis for him doing this and B, to direct Detective Lieutenant Tully on the 22nd to subpoena Miss Catani. So on the 20th, he tells the grand jury, on the 27th, you're going to hear some evidence. Okay. But on the 22nd, in between those two dates and the grand jury dates, that's when that's when Ken Mello tells Tully to subpoena Miss Catani to testify on December 27th, 2023. And the only legitimate basis for all that is because Mr. Mello and Detective Tully deemed Miss Catani a material witness. So, having said that, she is not clearly a credible witness, what are you guys doing here? What are you guys doing here? Like, if she's not even a credible witness anymore, and she's suing the very people who served her with a subpoena on the 22nd, and the fact that, I mean, this was all planned. This was all that right there is proof that Turtle Boy was railroaded, because on the 20th, Ken Mello is telling the grand jury, we're going to reconvene here on the 27th, and then, and only then, will you hear new evidence. We have the evidence, but I'm not going to tell you until the 27th. But he didn't have it. He didn't have it because he didn't direct Tully to serve her until the 22nd, 2 days after he tells the grand jury. So, exactly, Microdots. Exactly. Yeah, so like, it's crazy because the grand jury dates, Mello fucked himself. Mello basically like went on record at the grand jury proceeding to basically say, hold please, I gotta railroad somebody real quick. You'll hear from this railroad person on the 27th. I gotta railroad the defendant here real quick, the accused. But we'll reconvene on the 27th. 22nd, issues a subpoena for her to show up and testify against Turtle Boy on the 27th. On December 23rd, 2023, the day after the subpoena served to Catani. Oh no. Yeah. On the next day after that, Detective Lieutenant Tully applied for and was granted a search warrant authorizing the seizure of Karen Reed's phones. However, he was unable to execute that warrant within 7 days. On December 28, 2023, Mr. Mello inexplicably gave reporter Jessica Machado a lengthy interview detailing his investigation of Mr. Carney. He noted that Ms. Catani recently became a witness after he received communication from her. On information and belief, Mr. Mello's December 28, 2023 public assertion that Ms. Catani recently became a witness referred to Ms. Peter and Mr. Mello's, I don't know what that says, conversation about Ms. Catani, which resulted in Ms. Catani providing Detective Lieutenant Tully with information about Mr. Carney and Ms. Reed on December 14th, 2023. Unreal. So here's this footnote real quick. Mr. Mello's interview, which occurred while he was still conducting a grand jury investigation, was a brazen violation of Rule 3.6 of the Massachusetts Rules of Professional Conduct. In yet another example, okay, let me read that one more time. Mr. Mello's interview, which occurred while he was still conducting a grand jury investigation, was a brazen violation of Rule 3.6 of the Massachusetts Rules of Professional Conduct. This is not Ken Mello's first rodeo with misconduct and the bar, the Massachusetts bar. So, and that might be separate from the rules of professional conduct. I don't know. But this is not the first time. And he basically, this is one of the reasons why whenever there's an open investigation, a DA will go, you know what? The prosecutor will be like, I'm not going to discuss the details of an open investigation. I'll tell you this. We feel confident. We feel that we have enough evidence to indict Turtle Boy, and we feel confident in our indictment. That's the kind of thing that prosecutors are within the bounds to say, pretty much. Not, well, we got this witness. Her name's Lindsay Gattani. Man, she's going to spill the fucking beans, dude. It's over, Turtle Boy. Ooh, 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 ooh. I mean, that's not how this shit works, dude. Like, I mean, think about that shit. So how do you feel about the investigation, Mr. Mello? Just Machado's like, how do you feel about the investigation? How's it going? Can you tell us anything? Oh shit. Whoa! Like, that's not what you're supposed to do. That's not what you're supposed to do at all. In yet another example of his complete indifference and or sheer ignorance regarding his professional obligations as a prosecutor, Mr. Mello publicly announced that his case against Mr. Carney was overwhelming. He expressed his confidence in Mr. Carney's guilt. He smeared Mr. Carney as a master manipulator who exploited a substantially younger woman. Mr. Carney was 42 and Miss Gattani was 37. Oh, give me a fucking break, dude. Let me tell you something, dude. When you have two kids, that adds 10 years right there, bro. To however fucking old you are, bro, it adds 10 fucking years. If you're over 18 and you have two kids, you're fucking 28, bro. That's it. Because your ass is getting kicked all day long. 42 versus 37 with 4 fucking kids. Do the math. No, I'm obviously talking shit. I'm just saying, dude, like, there's not that much of a difference, dude, between a fucking 37-year-old and a 42-year-old, dude. There's really not at all. And she has 4 kids, bro. She has 4 fucking kids, which means that there's a level of responsibility to be had there. Right. And it is an average age difference between 2 adults. I mean, it's ridiculous. And that's what I'm talking about, Microdots, the mileage. Because let's face it. I had, up until about the year 2002, I had a 91 Eclipse Reminds me a bit of Lindsay Gattani. I'm just saying, I'm just being honest. I had a maroon 91 Mitsubishi Eclipse up until 2002. I beat the shit out of that thing, man. Like the way that it looked in 2002, I gotta say, reminds me a little bit of Lindsay Gattani. It just does. Paint was fucking coming off the roof because of the sun. I delivered pizzas in that fucking thing for years, bro. Empty cigarette packs and fucking McDonald's bags on the floor. Empty Mountain Dew bottles. You know? I mean, yeah. Like, it was a rolling trash can. I guess that's why it reminds me of her. It was a rolling trash can. That's what it was, pretty much. You know? And a lot of maintenance, you know? A lot of upkeep. Stressed me out all the time. Stressed me out all the time, always. You always yelling. That's all I'm saying. I like, now that I'm really thinking about it, like, yeah, why does that 91 Eclipse remind me of Lindsay Gattani? Yeah, that's fucker was Jesus. Check engine light was on for years, bro. Fucking years. How long has Lindsay Gattani's check engine light been on, dog? That's all I'm saying. How long has that shit been on? Okay. Am I wrong? Yeah, he smeared Mr. Like, you can't do that. That's the same. Ken Mello did the same fucking thing Michael Morrissey did with the fucking hostage video. It needs to stop. He just did it. Mello just did it through fucking Jess Machado. That's all that happened. Mello just did the same fucking thing through Jess Machado is all that happened, which was, you know, smearing fucking Aiden Carney, the defendant, innocent until proven guilty, right? Saying he's a master manipulator. He's a master manipulator. That turtle boy. That turtle creep. He's a master manipulator and he needs to be stopped. I'm gonna put him down. We have a strong case. We have a lovely young lady, a poor little victim named Lindsay Gattani, aka 91 Mitsubishi Eclipse, and she's got a lot of mileage on her, but she's a sweet, sweet gal. You can't do that shit. Fuck's wrong with you? Oh, man. Dave Matthews' neighbor, dude. I'm sorry, man. Fuck. That's gotta suck. Jesus Christ, man. I hope his house is soundproof. Fuck. I would be fucking kill me. Yeah, like, how is this guy even? This is the fucking stupidest shit in the world. Like, I can't believe this has gone as long as it's gone on. On January 22nd, 2024, Detective Lieutenant Tully applied for a second search warrant authorizing the seizure of Karen Reed's cellular phones. Detective Lieutenant Tully's sworn affidavit after David to demonstrate probable cause to seize Ms. Reed's phones relied heavily upon information Ms. Gattani provided to him on December 14th, 2023. Information, I mean, dude, look at this. They've been fucking sitting there colluding forever, bro. Information provided by Ms. Catani to Detective Lieutenant Tully on December 14, 2023 was essential support for Detective Lieutenant Tully's conclusive claim that Ms. Reed's phones will contain evidence of witness intimidation. In his affidavit, Detective Lieutenant Tully explained that a special prosecutor, Mr. Mello, convened a grand jury in an ongoing investigation into the intimidation of witnesses involved in Commonwealth versus Reed. And here it says, on the footnote, in his sworn affidavit, Detective Lieutenant Tully referred to Mr. Carney's YouTube episodes by their proper given names. As the court is aware, Detective Lieutenant Tully's patently false testimony in the 2023 grand jury misled the grand jury about the actual names and the content of Mr. Carney's episodes. Detective Lieutenant Tully identified Ms. Catani as Jane, the same name Ms. Catani used for the fake Twitter account she created for the purpose of attacking Mr. Carney. Fuck. This is too much. Detective Lieutenant Tully's description of the grand jury investigations referred to what is now the 2023 case and Mr. Mello's failed 2024 attempt to indict Ms. Reed and Mr. Carney, which Mr. Gosgrove has resurrected into the 2025 investigation, which is fucking ridiculous. I mean, bro, you failed. You failed, bro. Okay? It's all over. You shit the bed, my friend. Detective Lieutenant Tully swore to the issuing judge that Ms. Catani was a witness relative to the ongoing conspiracy to intimidate witnesses in the Reed case. Detective Lieutenant Tully's affidavit regurgitated the contents of the report he prepared after his December 14th, 2023 interview of Ms. Catani. Detective Lieutenant Tully's affidavit alleged that Ms. Catani provided him information suggesting that Ms. Reed or others on her behalf purchased Mr. Carney's Lexus. Relying upon information provided to him by Ms. Catani, the Detective Lieutenant Tully swore that Mr. Carney drove a Lexus and that further records, which on information and belief were received in response to a subpoena based upon information Ms. Catani provided to Detective Tully, revealed that Mr. Carney's Lexus was paid in full with Detective Lieutenant. Oh, with what? Hold on. With a personal check. Okay, I missed that. Detective Lieutenant explained that Ms. Catani was served with a grand jury summons on December 22nd, 2023, and that the following day, Mr. Carney told her to inform the grand jury that she didn't recall anything, to delete evidence, and that he would engage an attorney for her if she cooperated with him. Detective Lieutenant Tully swore to the issuing magistrate that information provided by Ms. Catani outlines the close communication between Carney and Reed, which continued after Carney was arrested and arraigned for witness intimidation. Detective Lieutenant Tully explained that he was seeking evidence from Ms. Reed's phones related to the witness intimidation of, among others, Matthew McCabe, Jennifer McCabe, Brian Albert, Chris Albert, Colin Albert, Julie Albert, Michael Proctor, and Liz Proctor. All the witnesses described in the preceding paragraph are or in disgraced former MSP Trooper Proctor's case were alleged victims in indictments associated with the 2023 case. This appears to be a typo. In fact, the name listed should be Juliana Nagel. Okay. Juliana Albert. Okay, so not Julie Albert. Excuse me. Juliana Nagel. The footnote. Thank goodness I read the footnotes. Because that would have went right over my head. So instead of it's not Juliana Albert, that's a typo. It's supposed to be Juliana Nagel. Julie Nagel. Based upon evidence provided to him by Ms. Catani, Detective Lieutenant Tully alleged that Ms. Reed's phones would contain probable cause of data evidencing her ongoing conspiracy with Aidan Carney to intimidate witnesses. Based upon Detective Lieutenant Tully's reliance on Ms. Catani as a key source of his probable cause affidavit and Mr. Cosgrove's current effort to search phones that were seized almost 2 years ago. Detective Lieutenant Tully's assertion that the content of Miss Reed's unsearched phone will uncloak a conspiracy between Miss Reed and Mr. Carney demonstrates the significance of Ms. Gittani to the 2025 investigation. On February 1st, 2024, Ms. Gittani testified before a grand jury titled In the Matter of Canton Investigation. February 1st, 2024, transcript, page 1. Ms. Gittani testified about what she claimed to perceive about the relationship between Mr. Carney and Ms. Reed, including, hold on a second, we leave it to Ms. Reed's defense to address whether the extensive delay in time between the seizure of her phones and the search, which still hasn't occurred, is unreasonable, such that any recovered evidence should be suppressed. Blah, 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 blah. In the event the 2024 case isn't dismissed for lack of prosecution, Mr. Mello's impairment of the integrity of the grand jury proceeding will serve as the basis for a future motion to dismiss that case. All right, we're on page 21 out of 30, folks, so hang in there with me. I'm going for it. The whole thing, bro, and then I'm going to read Aiden's article, okay? Ms. Gittani testified about what she claimed to perceive about the relationship between Mr. Carney and Ms. Reed, including allegations that Ms. Reed controlled what Mr. Carney posted about her case. Ms. Gittani described her December 14th, 2023 meeting with Detective Tully and Mr. Mello's investigator as, among other things, her letting them know Aiden had made a number of comments to me about Karen Reed. Ms. Gittani swore that Mr. Carney discussed a Lexus with her and that he alluded to the fact that it was a gift from Karen Reed and or her defense team. Bro, paid for it with a fucking check, bro. Ms. Gittani swore that Mr. Carney discussed a Lexus. Bro, she sold her fucking house, dude, to cover her fucking legal expenses. She's just going to buy somebody a goddamn Lexus. Get the fuck out of my face. Ms. Gittani swore that Mr. Carney discussed a Lexus with her, and I already read that. Ms. Gittani informed the grand jury, that Miss Reed's brother worked at a Lexus dealership in Rhode Island, and that Mr. Carney told her, even if he did give me a Lexus, that's not against the law. Okay? It's not. But I seriously doubt that happened because those things are money, dude. You don't just give away cars from dealerships, dude. They have to be accounted for, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't just give those things away. On March 27th, 2024, Mr. Mello sought Mr. Carney's and Ms. Reed's indictment for conspiring to intimidate witnesses in Ms. Reed's existing murder prosecution, even though Mr. Mello improperly emphasized Mr. Carney's and Ms. Reed's notoriety, and Mr. Carney already was indicted for witness intimidation, and Ms. Reed was scheduled to stand trial 3 weeks later. The grand jury refused to indict them. Now, remember that, folks. The ham sandwich and all that shit. I mean, indicting someone is fucking nothing. Like, it's like you can indict anybody with fucking anything. You indict anybody. And this grand jury was like, nope. Detective Lieutenant Tully was the sole witness in the March 27th, 2024 grand jury proceeding. Prior to this grand jury presentation, Mr. Mello and Detective Lieutenant Tully subpoenaed bank records and records from Lexus to imply that Miss Reed and her family purchased Mr. Carney's Lexus as a reward for him. On information and belief, the originating source of the information that led the Commonwealth to subpoena Mr. Carney's bank records and information from the Lexus was information Ms. Gittani provided to Detective Lieutenant Tully on December 14th, 2023. Now, don't you think that they would have been able to indict them if they could prove that Aiden Carney did not absolutely pay for this Lexus? If they subpoenaed his bank records, don't you think they would have been able to put together, okay, like let's just say that he wrote a check for a front. They cashed it. They got to give him the money back somehow, right? They got to give him the money back somehow. And did he buy the Lexus from Nathan's dealership? Do we know that? Because what the fuck? Because that would mean that they'd have to give him the money back somehow. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's bizarre. It's bizarre to me that, hold on a second. Okay, there we go. It's very bizarre to me that there's no, I mean, they subpoenaed his records, but why? Right. And I mean, they subpoenaed his bank records, and they would have done everything to like track like any extra income that was coming in, you know, like they would have been able to put this together. And at a Northborough dealership, but he says he paid it in check though. All of the above described evidence establishes that Ms. Katani likely will be called as a prosecution and or defense witness in, okay, hold on. Just as they did in the 2023 case, Mr. Mello and Detective Lieutenant Tully intentionally misled the grand jury through Detective Tully's patently false testimony in which he renamed Mr. Carney's episodes to sound indicative of his and Miss Reed's intent to intimidate witnesses. March 27, 2024 transcript, blah, blah, blah. This was just 2 months after Tully swore out an affidavit using the correct names of Mr. Carney's episodes. Right. And let's not forget that. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. All right, man. No, let's not forget that. I forgot what I was going to say. Thanks a lot, Olivia. Yeah, let's not forget that there's this whole shabacle with the 30-second clip that was never on the internet that Kate Peter sent to Tully, and Tully claimed that he never clicked on anything from Kate Peter. He only pulled his evidence off of the internet, but he couldn't have pulled that off of the internet because it wasn't on the internet. So that's going to be fun. And it says here, all of the above described evidence establishes that Ms. Katani likely will be called as prosecution and or defense witness in the 2023 case and in connection with any case that may result from the 2025 investigation. Mr. Cosgrove's actual conflict. Ms. Katani is a material witness regarding numerous important issues in the 2023 case and the 2025 investigation, including but not limited to how the Commonwealth investigated and built its case, B, the shoddiness, bias, and or lack of good faith in the Commonwealth's investigation, C, as a witness at a pretrial hearing seeking suppression of any evidence obtained from Miss Reed's phones, D, the relationship between Mr. Carney and Miss Reed, and E, explaining how Mr. Carney and Miss Reed communicated and the substance of those communications. Ms. Gattani also is a material defense witness who will be called to impeach several prosecution witnesses, including but not limited to Tully, Mello, Krusty, and Jen McCabe. Wow. Ms. Gattani recently has made a series. Oh, God damn it. Guess what I just turned on by accident? Give you one guess.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Shut up. That's how you respond to it. Ms. Katani recently has made a of public statements in which she had made serious allegations discrediting these witnesses, and which therefore are favorable to Mr. Carney and nor Ms. Reed. Ms. Katani recently announced that she possesses evidence which will expose every single lie made by Ms. Peter, Ms. McCabe, and Detective Tully. Ms. Katani has publicly claimed that Ms. Peter goes to bat for and defends the misbehaving Detective Lieutenant Tully because of her vested interest in covering for him. Ms. Katani allegedly possesses electronic messages which prove that Tully is corrupt and that Ms. Peter is a snake and a scumbag that nobody trusts. Ms. Katani provided a copy of her phone extraction to experts she consulted with and who support her contention that the MSP deleted her messages with Ms. Peter before Detective Tully provided the defense with a copy of extraction report. Ms. Katani has publicly alleged that the Commonwealth never intended to actually prosecute Mr. Carney through the end because it can't explain why Tully's and Ms. Peter's messages are missing from an extraction report from that the Massachusetts State Police made of her phone, and why Google Drive links Ms. Peter provided to the Commonwealth are missing. Oh my God, these people are so fucked. Ms. Katani has claimed that Ms. McCabe provided Ms. Peter with benefits, including paying for her makeover, haircut, clothes. And then somebody else alleged that Ms. McCabe hooked her up with a couch. Oh my gosh, I can't. As detailed, Ms. Katani has posted a video where she details how Ms. McCabe and Ms. Peter's presence pressured her to cooperate with the Commonwealth regarding the 2023 case and 2025 investigation by urging her to testify in the grand jury if she was truly sorry for upsetting Ms. McCabe. Even after suing Mr. Cosgrove and threatening to sue the DA, Ms. Katani has continued to publicly criticize him and the DA. She described Mr. Cosgrove's statements. Hold on. Is this going to? Yeah, hold on. Ms. Katani has continued to publicly criticize him and the DA. She described Mr. Cosgrove's statements at the September 24, 2024. Oh my God, I can't believe I just did that. September 24th, 2024, court appearance in which he outlined his conflict with her as a sham. Ms. Katani has publicly shared electronic communications from Ms. Peter to the Commonwealth that the defense restricted from publishing in unredacted form due to the court's protective order. Obviously, Ms. Peter forwarded these messages to Ms. Katani. That's bad. Ms. Katani is a material witness in the 2023 case and 2025 investigation because her testimony will support Mr. Carney's defense that the Commonwealth conducted a shoddy investigation that relied on witnesses with dubious credibility. Ms. Katani is a material witness in the 2023 case and the 2025 investigation because her testimony will support Mr. Carney by confirming, contrary to DL Tully's claims, that messages between and among Ms. Katani, Detective Tully, and Ms. Peter disappeared from, by the MSP. In the event that Ms. Katani testifies as a prosecution or defense witness, her credibility will be an issue, and her pattern of false statements, including her remarkable claims that the prosecutor and lead detective intentionally violated her rights and interfered with her rights by threats, intimidation, and coercion, which led to her to sue them and threaten to sue the DA, will be relevant examination topics, which would make her not credible. In light of the Commonwealth's heavy reliance on Ms. Katani to seek Mr. Carney's and Ms. Reed's indictments, it is in the Commonwealth's interest that Ms. Katani be a credible witness, at least with respect to her sworn grand jury testimony, the contents of her, oh my gosh, the contents of her December 14th, 2023 interview, and the contents of Detective Lieutenant Tully's sworn affidavit that led to the seizure of Miss Reed's cell phones, which Mr. Cosgrove is presently seeking to review in connection with the 2025 investigation. However, it is not in Mr. Cosgrove's personal interest that Ms. Katani be deemed a credible witness in light of her shocking and serious allegations of misconduct against him. So, basically, to explain it as clear as day, Mr. Cosgrove cannot sit here and claim that Ms. Gattani is a credible witness, because if he does, then when she sues him in court, her lawyer is going to have him on the stand and go, did you or did you not call her as a credible witness onto the stand after you were subpoenaed or after you were served with a lawsuit? Once you were sued, did you or did you not call her to the stand as a credible witness? So why shouldn't we believe her claims here as to why she's suing you here today? Boom, done. She wins the lawsuit. This dude's got to go, I can't do this. I got to go. Nope. That is the epitome of a conflict of interest right there. Cosgrove cannot afford to have her on the stand. Mr. Cosgrove's continued prosecution of the 2023 case and the 2025 investigation places him in the untenable position of A, defending the credibility of a witness who has accused him of egregious prosecutorial misconduct, or B, attacking the credibility of a prosecution witness whose credibility the Commonwealth must defend. I mean, I agree, because what does Bob always say?
What could be more egregious? What could be more misleading than that? And what could be more important?
Exactly, Bob. The public's confidence in the criminal justice system will be severely impaired in the event Mr. Cosgrove, at great taxpayer expense. Hold on, man. I want to read the footnote. The same is true for Detective Tully, who has no business remaining involved in the 2023 case, the 2024 case, and the 2025 investigation due to his clear conflict with Ms. Katani. At trial, Ms. Katani and Detective Lieutenant Tully will be both questioned about this conflict and its proof that the investigations against Mr. Carney are flawed and biased. That is absolutely right. Tully's fucked too. There's no credibility here with Detective Lieutenant Tully anymore in Turtle Boy's case. This case is already completely unwinnable on the end of the Commonwealth. The public's confidence in this criminal justice system will be severely impaired in the event Mr. Cosgrove, at great taxpayer expense, continues as a special prosecutor on any of these matters, given that he would be laboring under an obvious and irreconcilable conflict Why won't this? Here we go. Hold on. That was acting up. That was really weird. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what's going on with my internet. I apologize. But I appreciate most of you guys sticking around. But yeah, that's the motion right there. I mean, I think Mark put that, you know, we should have at least a hearing on this before you deny it, you know, so that we can argue this motion. But you know, I'm sure they're hoping that he just approves it because I mean, it's pretty cut and dry. But knowing Doolin, he likes to be as fair as possible to both sides. And I think that what he's going to do is he's probably going to call for an evidentiary hearing. And you know, they're going to go over it. Now, let me go over Aiden's article here, which isn't actually much. There's not much to it. Very simple summary here. Lindsay Gattani's lawsuit against Robert Cosgrove and Robert Tully, along with her threat to sue Michael Morrissey if he doesn't pay her $50K, has created an irreconcilable conflict with Cosgrove would have to discredit his own witness. Michael Morrissey can't appoint a new prosecutor because they are future defendant. The Commonwealth. Robert Cosgrove cannot prosecute any manner in which fake victim is a witness of her credibility is an issue. He has already recused himself from the 2024 indictment stemming from the made-up claims of witness intimidation on Christmas Eve at Lindsay Gattani's former Medfield residence prior to her eviction. She got evicted. Shocker. This leaves just the 2023 witness intimidation indictments involving Julie Nagel, Jen McCabe, Matt McCabe, Brian Albert, Chris Albert, and Colin Albert, and the 2025 indictments for doing T-Rex arms in front of a window. However, Cosgrove also must recuse himself from the 2023 indictments for many reasons, because Lindsay Gattani is undeniably a witness in that case. So, yeah, that's it. I mean, dude, we got to give it up for the mighty one, folks. Yeah, because I absolutely believe that that this should be enough. I mean, I don't see who they're going to get. Who the fuck are they going to get to prosecute this case? But I mean, they have to kick Cosgrove off. She's a witness in every fucking case. So they have to get Cosgrove off, or kick him off. I mean, it's ridiculous. Give me 1 second, guys. Appreciate you guys. Hold on. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Thank you, Fancy Fact Finder. Yes, I'm still on Facebook. And I missed this one, I think. Nancy Joe became a new member. Thank you so much. And Jojo, thank you so much. As much as I want Turtle Boy's charges to be dismissed, can you picture Kate Peter or fake victim on the stand? Neither of them ever shuts up. No, I love it. Yeah. I agree. Now the phone lines are open, folks. So I'll take some calls.
Call from?
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Oh, Will Glare. It's Charlie.
What's up, Charlie?
How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
Fantastic. Your chat is on fire tonight. It is so funny. I can't stop laughing.
It always is, man. I have the best chat on YouTube. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
I mean, I'm always there, but sometimes it's meh.
Yeah, I know.
But tonight is especially good. I was wondering if you could do a poll and see and ask the chat whoever's first car, if they drove a stick, if they learned to drive on stick.
Okay, why?
That's just what the chat is talking about, aside from what you're reading.
I'm just gonna make it easier because I don't feel like typing all that.
Okay.
Type of 1 if you learn how to drive on a stick shift. Type of 2 if you learn how to type on an automatic. Learn to drive on an automatic.
Did you ever have one?
Yeah.
I know you don't drive now, but
My Eclipse was stick shift.
I think
And
that must have been what sparked the conversation.
Yeah, I learned how to drive on that.
Well, Glare, that's all I have to say. I hope Cossy G calls in.
That's it? Really? Okay, Charlie.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. He just
fine.
gets me going. I just am looking forward to hearing him call.
Okay. Well, maybe he'll call. All right. Thanks, Charlie. Bye.
I hope makes my wishes come true. Bye.
Okay. I'm gonna need better than that. Call my fucking line, tie up my line just to fucking ask if everybody. Yeah. And then she want to say, "Nah, get the fuck out of here, bro. You just made it, man." I'm just playing. Thank you, Charlie. Just kidding.
Call from?
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Not that Dina.
Not that Dina. What's up?
Nothing. I wasn't even going to call, but I heard that last call. People think, oh, did you learn how to drive with a stick or not without? You know what I learned to drive in? My father's work van that had no power steering. I don't give a shit if you learn to drive with a stick or not. Try to drive with a car with no power steering.
I have.
That was like Flintstone shit.
I've driven a Camaro.
All right.
With no power steering. That shit was rough.
Oh, try doing it with a work van, a friggin' rape van. Seriously, that was some tough stuff.
Yeah, it was.
And
making a fucking left turn was. Yeah, it was.
Oh, you had to muscle that. That was like interesting. And I used to drive like the kids. I had like a whole group of kids that I had to take to school every day, and the back of the van didn't have any seats in it. it was just a tire and a whole bunch of like work things with drawers with like tons of like screws and shit in it from my father's installation place. And they were just sitting on the bottom, and they would just be all over the place. They'd just be here, there, whatever. And I'd just be like, sit down, stay low, don't let them see you. You know, I'd be picking up kids all over the city of Lynn, up and down hills in the Highlands, and dropping them off to the private school. It's just like, it was different. It was a different time. When I hear people saying, did you learn how to drive with a stick? I'm like, dude, I had like 15 kids in the back of a work van. If I got pulled over today with that shit, with no seat belts, no nothing, people sitting in the little area where the doors shut, just putting their feet down because they had a place to go. I mean, I'd go to jail. It was different. So that's all. It was a different time. It was a fun time, though.
Yeah, right.
I remember somebody slammed into the back of me, and their little brand new car got totaled because they hit the trailer hitch. And there wasn't nothing going on in my car. That was good. But I didn't have insurance, so I wasn't really good. So just letting you know. Just saying. Oh, are you doing the who cares thing? Because I just saw that shit come up. I don't even have it on. Oh, you're such a cunt. All right. You have a good fucking night. It was nice talking to you again.
Not that, Dina. Thanks.
You dick. All right. Bye.
Bye-bye. Does anybody have anything more interesting to say than fucking car stories from the fucking 70s? Anyone? All right, let's see.
Call from
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Janelle.
Hi, Janelle. If you fucking mention a car, I'm hanging up on you. What's up?
I am definitely not going to mention a car. I wanted to say that it was nice meeting you at the Wilbur.
Oh, it was nice meeting you too.
And also I didn't get to have any conversation with you, but I wanted to say that, when during Karen Reed trial 1 and like all the crap was going down with me, and then Aiden got locked up, I wanted to say thank you, because you were like keeping my spirits going when I didn't have him to talk to. So that was all. I wanted to say thank you for that. And I never had the opportunity to tell you because I didn't go to the encore after.
Oh, okay.
So
no. Thanks for calling and telling me that. That's really nice. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, I was fresh into really realizing that there was something seriously wrong in Norfolk County. So I was enthusiastic to do everything I could to help at the time. Most definitely.
Yeah,
that was when that first started for me.
I was facing 30 years in prison for running a license plate, and that was wild. I worked in law enforcement for 10 years, and to think of all the people that would run plates.
Are you the person?
Yes.
No way. You're the Avon lady?
Yes.
Oh shit, what's up?
Nothing, but do you remember meeting me at the Wilbur?
When are you going to court to get arraigned?
You know what the wild part is? So went past a year. There was no speedy trial thing for me. My lawyer kept like saying, "Oh, it's getting bumped to this day. It's getting bumped to this day." And excuse me, my throat is off.
Yeah, it's been happening to me too. I get it.
Ragweed. But kept bumping it, and then it came down to like it was I don't even remember the exact date. I think it was like June or July, the end of June or July. And I had court on a Monday. He called me on a Friday, and he's like, they're saying if you'll testify against Aiden and say that he made you feel intimidated, they'll drop all the charges. And I was like, no way, no fucking way. I'm like, I'm a, I did that on my own.
Okay,
What I
so
did,
right there, what that tells me is when you mention license plate, that counts as cars. So I'm fucking hanging up. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
no,
No,
you motherfucker.
What what that tells me, what that really tells me is that they were only interested in you to testify against him. They haven't, the fact that you've never even been arraigned for these charges.
No. They just like scared the shit out of me, thinking that all this bad stuff was going to happen to me, and even still, like, I did that on my own. Like, I didn't know whose I didn't know who I was running. Nothing. I just did it because I was all for the cause, and I was like, there's got to be a good reason for this. So I did it on my own. So I was not going to pass that buck on Aiden because I'm a big girl and I fucking did it. I did it. I chose to do it.
Solid.
So anyways, so I said, no, I won't do that. I'll just see what happens. So he called me later on that afternoon and he's like, don't bother coming to court on Monday. I'm getting it thrown out today. I was like, motherfuckers, a year and a half they dragged me through, like sick to my stomach, couldn't sleep that night.
Oh, dude.
And like I said, like when it first happened and then Aiden got locked up, I can't even tell you the stress I was having. And you had just kind of come up on the scene. So to
I was
have you to follow, like when he wasn't around anymore, like I would talk to him when he was, in jail, but, but we couldn't really talk because it was all recorded and you just didn't know what they'd try to spin. So it was just kind of like, hey, how you doing? Are you doing okay? Stuff like that in there. But like, I was so fucking scared, and it was great because you're on late and I worked overnight. So my sleep shift was, I was up all night. So again, I just wanted to call and say thank you. I never had the opportunity to tell you at the Wilbur when I met you. Clearly you don't remember meeting me.
I would have remembered you if you had mentioned this.
Well,
because you have to understand.
I mean, there's a million people around,
right? And I
but
wish
we took a picture.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's great. I love that because there were so many people.
I know,
so many,
and I wasn't going to be like an attention whore and try and steal you.
When somebody just calls in and goes, "I met you at the Wilbur," I honestly thinking that could be anybody, and unless it's somebody that I've already familiar with and I've met 100 times, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I apologize for that. It's just it was that particular scenario was very overwhelming because there was just everyone wanting pictures and everybody.
No,
really,
it was for me. It was for me too. And so I had it was when Bedro was there, Richie was there, and I just kind of came over and I said, "Hey, Will, I'm Janelle. Nice to meet you. Will you take a selfie?" Took a selfie, and then I walked away because I was awkward myself. You know what I mean? So, but I
would have been like, "Hey, I'm Janelle. I'm the one who got charged for running Jen McCabe's fucking Jeep plates at Proctor's house." I would have been like, "Oh shit."
No, I wasn't going to do that.
Dude,
I just,
you're a hero. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
I'm not a hero.
You're a fucking hero because, dude, that right there, that was for me alone, and finding that out and going, oh shit, what the fuck is a key witness in this case doing at the lead investigator's house? That's completely inappropriate.
Well, the thing is like, Avon is Norfolk County. So to work in Norfolk County, they're one town over from me. And it's like, they're my CPAC guys. When there's a sudden death in town, those are my guys. those are my CPAC guys that come into my town
Yeah.
and do the investigating. So to like be working in a town where those are your CPAC guys and they're shady and you're seeing it all, and you I don't work side by side with them, but like those are the guys that did my death investigations, and to know that they were fucking shady as fuck.
Wow.
And under no circumstance would a witness in a murder investigation be at the lead detective's personal residence
That
where his
makes
wife
no
and children
sense.
reside.
That makes no sense
You know,
at all.
that's
That's super shady.
No, it's like,
It's completely
could you
inappropriate.
imagine, like, even that would be like even somebody getting a speeding ticket and knowing the cop and going and knocking at their door and being like, "Hey, man, you think you can get that ticket wiped out? I shouldn't have been going fast." Like that's wrong on every level. You'd have a report. They would call the police on you. But for her to be inside their house,
Kicking it.
in a unbelievable.
Right. I mean,
So-
that's completely inappropriate. I like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, I remember being live talking about it and being like, I can't imagine any scenario where it's appropriate where a key witness is hanging out at the home. Like, what investigator says, come to my house and I'll interview you?
Right.
That makes no sense. They're hanging out. You know what I mean? They're hanging out.
Exactly. And never under any circumstance would that happen. It just wouldn't. Like I said, even if it was as small as I got a speeding ticket, can you fix it? You gave me a speeding ticket. Like, that would be bizarre. But being a witness in a murder investigation, and now you're
Cop.
hanging out with my right. And now you're hanging out with my wife and children at my home.
That's fucking
never.
crazy.
And it's crazy because only like 3 people that I worked with in that police department thought that Karen Reed was guilty. It was my chief, deputy chief, and one of my sergeants.
And how do they
Every
know?
other cop
How does Proctor at this point know that Jen McCabe didn't actually kill John O'Keefe herself? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And you're so you're ruling her out, meaning you're not conducting a thorough investigation. You're already canceling people out, so much so to where you feel comfortable having this person in their residence where your children sleep. I love that shit.
Right.
That's fucking amazing.
Or they're meeting in person to go over their story.
Right. Well, what I'm saying is that's clearly the issue here. Is like, there's, even if Proctor wasn't framing Karen Reed, which we fucking know he was, if he wasn't framing Karen Reed, like, he's already just fucking dismissed Jen McCabe. He's irresponsible. Like, this guy's putting his own family at risk because somebody who's a key witness couldn't have been cleared properly as a suspect until you fucking charge somebody. But
sometimes I wonder
if there's the slightest chance that this person had anything to do with this murder. You're not going to fucking bring this person around your children.
Hell no. No fucking way. And just the ethics of it, or I'm saying that right. You can't do that. Like,
right. The only reason you would do everything I just explained is if you were chummy with them. You knew them. You were comfortable with them.
Yes,
which
exactly.
means that you should not. Which means that you are too close to the investigation. You need to fucking recuse yourself. That's what that boils
or you
down
were
to.
or you were the fat nerd, and he's really a fucking dumb bloke who really just wanted to fit in with their crowd so bad that he was willing to just risk his career and have her come over and hang out so he could be friendly with her. Like, and maybe he believed, who fucking knows? Because I do think that Brian Higgins and Berkowitz could have dropped that fucking tail light there. I don't know. I do. Proctor is so fucking stupid that he really thought it was there, and he really believes that
no chance
she did it, because
no chance.
I mean, I don't fucking know.
No
I don't know, but I thought that too, like that he's such a fucking dope
No.
that he.
I once I read the application for a search warrant for Brian Walsh, written by Michael Proctor. Once I read that,
Yeah.
I was convinced that this guy knows exactly what he's supposed to be doing as an investigator.
Yeah, and the whole thing is, and the whole thing of not taking off the crime scene. There's mobile command. Like mobile command would have been out there. There would have been a cop on sitting outside of that crime scene the whole entire time until CPAC got on. The rule is unattended death. Town cops call in CPAC, stay on scene until CPAC arrives. As soon as CPAC or the medical examiner arrives, town cops are allowed to leave because they take over. That crime scene was left unattended.
Totally.
That is not protocol.
Right.
That is not protocol.
For at least what, 6 hours? Wasn't
Say
it?
that again?
Wasn't it? Yeah. Wasn't it like at least? No, it was left.
12.
Yeah, 12 hours.
12 hours.
12 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. So say from 8 in the morning.
I got
8
got
to
confused.
5.
It was
however many hours that is.
It was 6 to 6, is what I think it was.
So that's 12 hours. Yeah.
Or I could be wrong.
So,
I don't know, man. It was so long ago. I'm hazy.
Like my chief would have had a fit if we had cops that had an unattended death and left before the medical examiner or CPAC got on scene. They would have been in big trouble. They would have been in big trouble. So I know that for a fact because the dispatcher is the one who calls CPAC. Dispatch is the one who calls the medical examiner. Dispatch is the one that says the ETA of CPAC is yada yada yada. The ETA for medical examiner is whatever. So, and they say, oh, and now it's rolling in over there into their hour, and it's in the cop who, even if the cop was on a 16-hour, we're not allowed to work more than 16 in a row. Even if the cop was on duty for 16 hours, the cop who goes to the scene has to stay there. He is in charge of that scene until CPAC or the medical examiner get on scene. So many things were wrong. And just the times were all fucked up in the dispatch log. Nobody arrived at the right time. I don't know if you remember all that. Being a dispatcher, times matter. Times matter and who in the order they get there. Everything matters. Everything needs to be documented exactly. And it wasn't.
And what
it wasn't.
For what purpose other than to present in a court
sloppy.
of law? To present in a court of law.
Sloppy, lazy, and thinking that nobody was gonna look.
Right. Yeah. Crazy.
You know, that nobody was looking. And being OCD and a perfectionist like I am, I couldn't fucking believe it. Nobody in my department could believe what was going on. And it was like a lot of my guys, they did like they have to do like a qualification, like shooting. They have to do all this like tactical training. Then there's like certain like like SWAT team groups, like, and you'll take a couple people from Avon, a couple people from Canton, a couple people from Stoughton, like throughout the district. They'll have a couple cops from each town. So like my cops worked with these guys on a regular basis, like in other things. And they're just like, these guys are fucked. They're going down. These guys are going down. And it was just crazy. The whole thing was crazy. But I'll tell you, when Turtle Boy got locked up, I was so fucking scared, and I was just thankful that you came on the scene when you did, because I couldn't really. And Melanie Little too. Melanie Little was another one that I was glad, but she was like a daytime, so more of a daytime. So it was like my sleep schedule was so fucking off from the hours I worked that it was like you were like my lifeline, and I like it was like I felt like I knew you. You were like my buddy, but you didn't know me. I was this girl in my dark bedroom, fucking scared as fuck that I was going to prison for 30 years and I was going to leave my son behind, and My brother was pissed off at me. Oh, it was a nightmare.
I can imagine. Jesus Christ. Like, I mean, but here's the thing is, you know, did you do something against policy of your job? Sure. But
So yeah,
but the thing is though,
but I didn't break the law. I broke policy, but I didn't break the law.
exactly.
And I was in
There's
a
that,
I,
but there's also the fact that you yeah, so what, you broke policy, but what you did, it's you know now for sure, especially now for sure, that it was just. It was absolutely just. Like, you did it for
like
the right
I was
reason. You didn't do anything unethical. Like,
no.
it could have been, but you didn't do anything unethical, because
Well, the thing,
the fact is you helped prove that there was an
yes,
inappropriate involvement between the McAlberts and Michael Proctor. You proved that.
yeah, and they had to pull my CGIS reports, and once that CGIS report, once you put something into CGIS, it's fucking in CGIS. It's stamped in there. It ain't going anywhere. It's undeniable. You can't hide it. It happened. It was there, you know. But so they pulled like a stack of my CGIS reports. Those were the only plates I had ever run, like without authorization. And for me, you know, I was like struggling in my home life with like an ethical and more like my ethical and moral, you know, my morals, and my morals beat the ethics when it came to that job, because my morals were, I can't let this fucking girl
Sometimes
be
that happens,
railroaded
man.
because these guys are scumbags.
Sometimes that happens, you know. Sometimes you're faced with a moral dilemma, you know, where it's like, okay, well, you know, I might be doing something that I'm not supposed to do, but am I doing it for the right reasons, and is it necessary for me to do it? You know,
And it was.
it
It
absolutely
really
turned
was.
out to be. Like, I mean, you know, you believe in God or a higher power
Yeah.
or anything, whatever, but whatever that was told you that this was the right thing to do at that time.
Yep.
Because
Yeah, and I believe that 100%, and that's why, like,
agree.
I take full responsibility for what I did. Yeah, I might have had to pass that career along for now. It doesn't mean I can't go back to it.
Sure.
You know, if I want
You're
to.
obviously a sharp person, so you know you're gonna be fine. you're gonna
Yeah,
find something.
I got another job.
I'm sure you
You
did.
know, like 6 months later, you know, great for I'm set. I'm all set.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not doing what I love doing, but it pays my mortgage and buys my groceries and all my shit. So, like, I don't really, you know, whatever. This is where I'm supposed to be right now, and you know,
I feel that.
Just keep moving forward. You
I feel
know,
that we are all exactly where we're supposed to be, when we're supposed to be, who we're supposed to.
Yep. Yeah. No, I completely believe that, and like, this is just another challenge and another, you know, part of life that I just got to get through, and I'm gonna be just fine.
Right on. I know you will.
And then and I didn't even get, I don't know if you know about how when they Fanning and Buchanan came to my work. They were the ones, they lied and said they had a warrant. And just recently I talked to one of my old cops that I worked with, and he told me my chief knew that their warrant for my phone was fucking fake and didn't protect me. They had a fake warrant, so I gave them my phone.
Can you prove that?
And I probably could. That my chief said that?
I mean, no, that they had.
I can prove that they had a fake. Yeah, I can prove that they lied and said they had a. Yeah, of course, because you got to listen to the rest of this. So so they take my phone. It's on a Wednesday. I say, you know, I have a son. This is my only means of communication. Like, I need to be able to get a hold of him, and he needs to be able to get a hold of me. And they're like, oh, it will take us like an hour to download. It's only going to take a couple hours to download it. We'll have it back to you tonight. Well, they did not give me my phone back until Friday at like 3 o'clock. So they kept it for 2 days, which was fine, whatever. So
Turtle Boy
when
still doesn't have his fucking phones back.
what?
Turtle Boy still doesn't
I
have his
know, I
phones
know. Well, what happened was I had this I'm not into all the friggin' newest phones and the best technology. Like, I want to be able to text, call, look online, and I'm good. So my phone was like this shitty, like Revel or some shit phone. They had to get special shit to download my phone, and so they.
I love
so
that.
by the time it was such a piece of shit phone, they didn't even have stuff to get the shit off of it. So anyways, they bring my phone back at 3 o'clock on a Friday. Krusty had already started going on my Facebook, and it was Turtle Boy who was like, hey, when I got my phone back, I called him, like, oh, I have my phone back. He's like, Kate Peter is already liking your shit and commenting on your public shit. I'm like, what? So I go, it's not even public record for 5 business days. So I was like, what the fuck? There's no fucking way. There's no way. Nobody even knows that interview happened with me. That night, I start getting phone calls at like 1, 2 in the morning, calling me. It's her and Brian Riccio, the guy that died of whatever he died of.
Oh my
whatever.
God. Yeah.
Yep. So on Monday, I called Tully. I called the Norfolk County. I call them, and I say, "How the fuck does this girl have my?
Yeah.
How does this girl have all my information? Our interview isn't even a public record." So me and Tully go back and forth. I'm like, said something about, you guys say you have a warrant for my phone. He's like, we didn't have a warrant for your phone. So that's how I knew that I was lied to. And I said, so who gave Kate Peter my phone number? And who gave her like all my information? He's like, oh, I don't know anything about public records. I go, I do, because I work the window and I work in the civil part. There's no way that anybody should know about this that you interviewed me until Wednesday. That would be 5 business days. So
like if you were charged right then that would show up. You know what I mean? Like if you got booked in jail, that would show up.
But I wasn't even arrested.
Right.
I wasn't even arrested.
You were just interviewed. There's no reason why she should have that information
No.
unless somebody fucking told. Unless somebody on the inside, somebody within the Massachusetts State Police or the Norfolk County DA's office.
Absolutely, 1000%.
Informed Kate Peter.
Yep, they gave her my information. And so I said, make it stop. And she never bothered me again after that. So Tully luckily made it stop. Otherwise,
Have you talked to Aiden about this stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Aiden knows.
Yeah, this is fucking crazy.
Yeah, it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. But luckily my lawyer got it. So I'm not going to have 3 felony counts of witness intimidation on my permanent record. And, I never had to, go to jail for 30 years or any jail, anything. And, even Tully in the grand jury, not Tully, Tully in the grand jury papers said that what I did was I broke the procedure. I didn't break the law. So like all the trolls online will be like, oh, she broke the law. She broke the law. No, I didn't break the law. I broke,
like that's why they haven't pursued you. They bluffed you to try to get you to be a witness. They intimidated you to be a witness against Aiden.
Yeah, and I wasn't doing it.
Wow.
Like, even if I hated Aiden's guts, even if I thought he was the biggest piece of shit on the face of the planet,
I'm the same way.
I did that, not him.
Right. And I'm the same way. I'm not, no, dude. Like, I'm not going to do that just because I fucking don't like somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I ain't going to pass what I did and put it on him.
Right.
I did that. He has enough shit. That's what I did. You know, no, and what we did wasn't witness intimidation, and it wasn't fucking
No.
what are they? Oh, what's it called? What was the C word again? Conspiracy. It wasn't conspiracy either because I didn't even know who the fuck's plates I was running.
Right.
So how is if I don't know whose plate I'm running, you know, then it was just the whole thing was just such bullshit. And my whole opinion on some police officers changed because I've worked with a lot of great cops over the years. I really have, and they all still reach out to me. They all reach out. They see how I'm doing. They miss me, whatever. But you know, it's just those few pieces of shit that they gotta be getting something out of it. I don't know what, but
Dude,
you know, shut up money or
fucking crazy that they fucking lied about a warrant.
Yeah, to a person who works in law enforcement, and my chief fucking allowed it.
Crazy, dude. That is crazy. Like that is fucking crazy. Like that shows right there that they were absolutely trying to railroad Aiden. They did everything.
Oh yeah.
They
wanted everybody to shut the fuck up because they wanted to put this on Karen, and Aiden was pointing out all the flaws. I helped him point out the flaws. They were pissed because I was, you know, supposed to be like one of them. Well, I'm not a crooked, shady motherfucker. If I see something wrong, I'm saying something. That's integrity is like a huge part of the law enforcement world. Integrity. Well, I have motherfucking integrity. And I saw something that wasn't right. And, you know, I did what I thought was right when nobody was fucking looking.
Yeah, no, you absolutely did what was right. I completely agree with
and I don't regret it. You know, I don't regret it. Yeah. you know, am I not doing what I loved doing? I mean, it does take a special person to do that job. It's a lot of hours. It's 24/7, 365. You miss a lot of holidays. You miss a lot of, you know, a lot of parties and shit that you wish you could go to, but you're doing something for the betterment of the community and for the public.
You're a civil servant, of course.
Right. And I enjoyed, like, I loved doing that. And you got to be able to hear all that shit and drop it at the door and go home and live your life regular. And you pick your shit back up when you get back to work. And I was able to do that. And a lot of people can't do that.
Right.
And, you know, I was good at my job. And, you know, now there's just one less good dispatcher for having integrity.
Yeah, that's terrible. Like, that's terrible.
It is. It makes me think different about law enforcement.
There's one less dispatcher who has integrity, as you said, and it's because you did the right thing.
Yep. I mean, there was like a few other dispatch centers that had reached out to me on Facebook, and they're like, "We'll hire you right now." But at that time, I was so afraid of. I mean, when I say PTSD kicked up, I was fucking afraid to leave my house. I didn't know if Cossy was like stalking me down the court. I didn't know if the state police were. I thought my phones were tapped for a while. Like, I was so far. Even my brother just retired out of law enforcement after 35 years. Even my brother would come to my house to have a conversation with me because he thought my phones were tapped. So
Jesus Christ.
That's when I was like, oh. And at first he's like, those guys.
Nobody should have to live like that, man. Nobody should have to live like that.
No. He said, those guys are bad dudes. He's like, maybe you should move out of state for a couple months. Why don't you go down and stay with Brian in Florida? Why don't you go down and stay with cousin Nick in Tennessee? He wanted me to leave the state thinking that those guys are such bad dudes. He was afraid that they would do something to me.
I mean, if they're willing to fake a warrant, you know, they just feel like they're untouchable. You know, like, these guys are bad news. You're right. You know, your brother's right. You know,
Yeah, I wasn't. I didn't. I didn't run. I stayed. I have a dog, LTC, and a gun, so I don't have to worry. Like, if
No. I'm not saying he's right that you need to leave. I'm saying he's right that, like, don't underestimate these guys. You know what I mean? Stay safe.
No,
You shouldn't
I
stay
know.
safe. But you shouldn't have to live in fear either.
No, and I'm not scared anymore now that Karen Reed's free, now that my charges are dropped, now that they're eating crow, I'm not scared anymore, because they clearly, like I said, they're eating crow. They all eyes are on them. What I did is nothing in comparison to what they did. And I sleep great at night.
That's fantastic.
I ran a couple license plates. Fucking okay, happens every fucking day.
Exactly.
All day,
Agreed. All right, Janelle, I'm gonna cut the stream, and thank you so much for calling and sharing your story. It means a lot. Thank you.
No, and thank you for getting me through those dark times when Aiden was locked up. I appreciate you for that, even though you didn't even know you were doing it. But nice talking to you.
Thank you, Janelle.
And if you're, I don't know if I'm going to the Halloween party yet, but if you do and I do, I'll make sure I make a point to have a conversation with you.
Right on. Yeah, I'm not sure on that, but I'll definitely be.
Yeah,
I'm definitely planning on being at the hearing for the December 5th hearing. So definitely planning for that. But all right, Janelle, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
All right, have a good night.
All right, good night.
Okay, bye.
Wow. That was amazing. All right, folks, it's that time of evening. You guys are absolutely fantastic. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Big shout out to the mighty one, Mark Betterow, for writing an amazing motion. And let's see what happens here on December 5th. Because that motion, I mean, it's been out there for a while. So hopefully this is just an easy, this was already discussed. Doolin said, put something in writing. This is what he put in writing. So we're good. This is it. We're done. And so December 5th, people, next hearing. Of course, we've got a lot of live streams to do in between now and then. So guys, you guys are amazing. I love you guys. You mean the world to me. Thank you guys for all the support. It's amazing. Thank you guys for hitting the like. Really helps me out. And subscribing. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Double check if you're still subscribed, because YouTube tends to delete subscribers. So just double check. Make sure you're still subscribed, and make sure to hit the notification bell so you know when I'm going live, because I kind of just do these things on the fly from time to time. Because this motion hadn't even been public for an hour. And so I was like, I'm getting on it. So here we are. But yeah, you guys are fantastic. I love you guys very, very much. And remember, it only takes a second to stay safe.
Watch out!
retarded means leading a full life. Retarded people go to work or school, just like their neighbors, and come back to a real home. A supervised home, right in the neighborhood, where they belong. Being retarded never stopped anyone from being a good neighbor.